Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, CaneSport. It's December 10th, 2021. I'm Gary Ferman, the publisher of CaneSport.com, joined as always by our managing editor, Matt Shodell, as we discuss the news of the day. And Matt, it's Mario Cristobal's first visit weekend, and I figured I'd dress up a little bit this morning.
Here we go.
I not only whipped out the collar, but I got the button-down thing working and everything. You, as usual, got your T-shirt. Where's the gator? I'm sure there's a gator on there somewhere.
No gator.
Oh, we're back to Roland Garros, pretending that we went to the French Open. Okay.
It was on sale. What do you want from me? It was on sale.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Listen.
I'll tell you what's not on sale, and that's scholarships to the University of Miami this weekend. A pretty star-studded list coming in. Pretty much almost every commit in the Miami signing class is making his way back to Coral Gables this weekend. And so, Matt, not your typical visit situation. I mean, they've only had 1 week of recruiting to try to add to this signing class, but it's been a bit of a whirlwind and it's still coming together. But your initial thoughts on the first week of Mario Cristobal recruiting?
A whirlwind, it's been a tornado. And first of all, okay, Lacoste recruited me as hard as Mario Cristobal recruits these other kids, okay? That's all I own. It's like constant emails. They text me all the time, like, you know, they want me to take an official visit to the French Open, you know, stuff like that. So I may or may not do that. And I also have
what do they make those? They probably make those shirts in China or something, don't they? You'd have to go pretty far.
They make them in Asia. I don't know. They say they're from Asia.
You'd have to go pretty far to visit that factory. You know, I would think.
They haven't invited me there yet. And also, listen, you Cristobal'd me at the end of yesterday's thing. You just totally took me off the screen. So I don't even know why. Why am I even on the show with you? I feel like at any moment, if I say the wrong thing,
I won't do it again. I promise. It was a one-time. That was a one-time deal.
You removed me from the screen. You Cristobal'd me, just like Cristobal did that to the radio host the other day. Like, it's not right, man. It's not right.
I got assaulted a little bit on social media for doing that. You know, people
with good reason. Anyway, so you were asking about the listen.
But I do have my tape close by in case I need that again.
If you could reach across the screen and put it on me, you probably would do that. Yeah. Try to reach across the screen and you can't reach across like that and get it on my side? That doesn't work?
No.
So listen, the way Mario Cristobal recruits is insane. If extraterrestrials came to Earth and all they saw was Mario Cristobal, they'd be like how we view, ants. Like, I was in the rainforest. We went to Costa Rica for the last hurrah when my kid was, what? I can't use this analogy?
No,
I don't use analogies?
God, we're supposed to be talking about the news of the day, not your family vacation.
This is the news of the day. My older kid was graduating from high school. It was like the last chance as a family for us to go anywhere. We go to Costa Rica. He refuses to go see the sloths, so I had to just go with my wife and my younger son. He was whatever. But he did go with us to one of the rainforests. And, I mean, when you see these ants, these worker ants, I guess they're blind is what I was told, and they just follow each other, you know, up the tree with all the stuff they're supposed to bring. Well, there's got to be one ant in the front, right? And that ant in the front is leading all these other blind ants to the promised land. And that ant in the front is Mario Cristobal. That's how extraterrestrials would view Mario Cristobal, as the lead ant, leading all the other blind ants to the promised land with all the little goodies, all the national championships. You know, and I was talking to you about this today. I'm always a skeptic. People are complaining now that I'm not complaining enough. They think I'm way too happy.
Like, what's happening to that?
Just to allay everybody's fears, I am deeply unhappy all the time. I'm just less unhappy now that Mario Cristobal is the coach. But you and I were talking about yesterday about the future of this program with Mario Cristobal. He's gonna succeed at recruiting. Period. He works too hard not to.
You may not see it Wednesday, but he's going to succeed. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do it in a week.
In 10 days, Signing day from when he began the job will be 9.5 days. It's going to be insane what I think might happen on Wednesday. I mean, we've already reported on some of it. There might be some more to come. Like, it's insane what might happen.
And then wait till the transfers start.
Yeah, forget it. So my point is this, and this is what I was talking to you about yesterday. Fans right now are just hyper-focused on recruiting. I look at the big picture every once in a while just for fun. And this is what you and I talked about yesterday during one of our probably 100,000 conversations we had yesterday. I talked to you more than my wife and kids combined, my parents combined. Like, I don't know. I don't remember the family ever since Mario got hired. So what I talked to you about was this. Like, it's not going to take much for Miami to win the Coastal every year. They have Pittsburgh and, like, I'm not going to name every school, Georgia Tech, like, North Carolina's okay, Virginia Tech's okay. But, like, all the bad teams, like the quote-unquote bad teams, are in the Coastal. In the Atlantic, you got Clemson, you got a rising FSU team, you got an NC State team that's usually pretty good, you got a Wake Forest team. Like, they may as well just gift the Coastal to Miami every year, starting maybe next year, but certainly 2 years from now. Like, I was saying to you, I think they're going to win 10 Coastal titles in a row at least. Mario could be here for 20 or 30 years if he was serious about what he said, like he was planning to be in Oregon forever. I don't think he's a guy that jumps around. I think he's found his home in Miami. I think he's going to win the Coastal every year, so why would he leave Miami? Like, he might be, I hate using the Bobby Bowden analogy because, like, that's FSU's deal. But, like, I could see him being here and being super successful, like, forever, And it's just the start, which is what's so exciting about it. I don't want you to, like, cut me off the screen again and just go into your soliloquy with me in that little box down in the left corner. So I'm going to stop talking. But, like, that's what we talked about yesterday, and I think it's true. I honestly think Mario will win at least 10 ACC Coastal titles in a row. Is that crazy for Matt the Curmudgeon? I can't even say it. Curmudgeonly Matt? I don't know how to say it. The 1900s.
10 in a row, huh? All right.
That one guy likes to use.
We'll see. I mean, it's certainly not out of the question, really, if you look at the way he's going to probably recruit in relation.
And the Coastal's not good.
No. But that all is cyclical. I mean, that goes back and forth.
It's not cyclical when you recruit like Mario's going to recruit and with the
talent. No, but like a Pitt gets a Kenny Pickett, and, so you never know. But yeah. All right. So a lot of recruiting coverage, obviously, this morning.
This Miami team beat that team with Kenny Pickett. So that was with like not much.
I know that's what's so amazing is like we know how much work there is to do in the program, but they probably played the best football in the ACC the second half of the season.
By the way, I would love to have Mario's honest answer to when he came in here and got under the hood of this program to what he really thought. Can you imagine what he might have thought with some of the stuff going on down here?
Yep. You can only imagine.
I would love to have 5-10 years from now, I'd love to say, Mario, looking back when you first got here, do you remember what it was like and what you thought of it? Maybe he'll think it was great, but I have a feeling he doesn't think it's great and there's stuff to be fixed. That's my personal feeling, but I hope he someday answers that question.
I'm sure there's a ton to be fixed that we don't even see with the naked eye to ourselves. All right. So anyway, story on Ja'Cory Brown, quarterback commit coming down to solidify his commitment with Mario Cristobal and the staff. Ja'Cory's really emerged as a leader in this class, and he's trying to help recruit a few other kids. We'll see how that goes here this weekend and in the coming days. We also have an update on Ahmad Moten from Cardinal Gibbons, defensive tackle. He's not going to sign until the late signing period, so you're going to be hearing a lot about him through January.
These poor late signees, man. Like, there's no one else to write about. It's going to be Ahmad Moten, Shamar, and like a couple other kids. And
there's going to be more transfer portal. There'll be more because of the transfers.
And the transfer portal, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a lot
Before you cut me off, I tried to say transfer portal.
I'm sorry. Yeah, there'll be a lot of portal action.
Hey, listen, I appreciate the apology. I'm actually impressed. Usually you just cut me off and that's it.
I'm trying to talk about the news of the day.
Are you kinder, gentler Gary Ferman with Mario Cristobal in charge. I'm sort of in shock.
I feel good about the way I felt good for several weeks now with the way things are going. I kept saying it before anybody was hired. I like what I'm seeing. Everybody's freaking out. I said, don't worry, guys. I like what I'm seeing and hearing. And they brought it home. They brought it home. I can't believe I'm saying that. The University of Miami brought it home. Wow.
Somebody asked me if I could still go stone crabbing with Mario Cristobal as the coach. And I joked that I'd have to make, phone calls to recruits in between pulling the traps. I was joking, I thought, but now I actually think I might have to do that. I mean, that's how busy this guy is.
You're going to want to do it early.
It's nonstop. He doesn't sleep early, whatever. Like, it's nonstop. Can you imagine when he starts giving out offers? There's going to be a new offer being tweeted out probably every 30 seconds for a 24-hour period when that first evaluation period hits.
Yeah, it's crazy. He starts early and goes late. All right, so we have a story on Georgia defensive back commit Jaden Harris. Official visit.
Not commit. Just he's from there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I called him a commit. I'm sorry. Jeez, yeah. I'm sorry. It's early.
If I could crystal ball you, I would. I would just whack him right up
Georgia. He's a defensive back. He visited Miami last weekend. My bad, a moment ago. He's going to Missouri this weekend, Matt, and that's a sign that this thing is not a done deal or anything. It's still in flux. Just your general thoughts on this Jaden Harris recruitment.
Yeah, well, my general thought, first of all, also is we haven't been arguing at all since Cristobal took the job. I'm very upset about that also. Like, this is a nightmare for me. A nightmare. I like to complain. I like to argue. Like, this is the worst thing that could have happened to me.
I mean, get used to it. There's not going to be a lot to argue about.
It's terrible. Jaden Harris.
You might want to interrupt me a little bit less, but there's not,
Jaden Harris, I think he's going to wait till February. So, like, he's another one of these kids that, we'll be doing regular updates on if he does wait. The big thing with him is we're going to have to wait and see, because if I'm Mario, you need cornerback help, no doubt. You need linebacker help, no doubt. But to me, you need older linebacker help, older cornerback help. You bring in these freshmen and people, fans are like, oh, that's the answer right away. Well, no, usually these kids need to get stronger, bigger, faster, learn the system, especially at the level of play Mario Cristobal expects. So, we'll have to see what happens, but you're bringing in Kamari Rogers, who should be fine. He's off an ACL, but he should be fine for the season. You got a Chris Graves, who's got nice upside once he develops. Do you really need, 3 true freshman cornerbacks, or would you be better off using one of those spots on a quality transfer? So I imagine as these
the kids, obviously, but
right. This is the problem for kids who don't sign in December, which is the unwritten thing, because it's still relatively new with the portal and December signees. If you don't sign in December and you have a school you want to go to, your spot that you think is there in December for you to sign, and it is, might be gone in February if some people enter the portal that want to come to Miami, because yes, there are numbers that you want to balance out in each class, but that 85 number is a very rigid number this year. So in this particular case, the balancing out of classes isn't as important as getting talent that'll help you right away. And with Miami up against that 85 number pretty tight, I would think there's a chance some of these offers, even for an Ahmad Moten, might go away. I know how much they like Ahmad Moten, but if you get all of a sudden 2 guys in the portal you didn't think were going to be in the portal that can help you right away, those are spots that you now can't take a recruit. So it's a difficult situation potentially for February signees who think, oh, they're going to take me no matter what. Well, not so fast. So we'll see. I'm not convinced that Jaden Harris should be a take, will be a take. Maybe Ahmad Moten, I think, should be a take, but will he be a take? I don't know. This is the new danger for kids who wait till February. It used to be wait till February. You have so many more options because some of these schools didn't fill up. Well, with all these bloated rosters now because of the COVID extra year, it's like the reverse. These kids might get screwed at the end of the day, the ones who wait till February. Not Shamar Stewart, okay, but the other kids that maybe they want to go to this program or that program above the others, but aren't saying it in their mind. Like, for instance, I think Ahmad Moten really wants to be a Hurricane. He should sign in. If he knows he wants to be a Hurricane, but he wants to play the game and visit and have fun, he's only taken one visit. It'll be the first visit this weekend. Play the game and have fun, Ahmad. But don't think, this is a businessman. Don't think your spot's going to be there in February just because you are, want to take some visits and wait. This is a bad year for kids who want to wait until February. It just is, unfortunately. Unless you're Shamar Stewart, who can go anywhere. If you're a 5-star, you can do whatever you want. But if you're a 3-star or a low 4-star,
All right, another Jaden Gibson, the wide receiver. He's a fascinating story. This is a great story. I encourage everybody to read this story. It's to sum it up briefly. Florida news coaching staff comes in and tells them they want him to be reevaluated. This kid's a tall, lanky, big receiver. Clearly has a lot of skill, and Florida slow plays him of whether they really want him or not. And Did not go well, Matt.
I mean, the best part of the story is what I didn't even put in the story because I just thought it was so over the top. But it was all on the record, so I'll just freaking say it. Good morning, CaneSport. Like, why not just say it? I was talking to the assistant coach at the school, and the coach says to me, I can't help laughing. The coach says to me, he tells me the whole story about how this GA comes in, and he's like, no, you have to prove yourself all over again. We're not just going to take you blindly. You either got to come back and see us or do a workout tape and send it to us. Like the head coaches don't even come in. So Jaden's like, screw that. He decommits. But now this assistant coach says to me that Jaden says to him, he says that he wants to stick it to Florida. So that's why this coach says he's going to maybe go to Georgia or go to, one of these schools that like plays Florida to stick it to Florida. He's so like Jaden is so pissed at Florida now. He like wants to play against Florida. And so I said to the assistant, I said, well, Miami doesn't really have a game scheduled with Florida in the near future, which I think is true, right? They don't.
I believe there's one coming up in a few years.
Yeah. So I said to the coach, well, they don't really play. The coach says to me, yeah, but it's who's the best in Florida? It's Miami or Florida, that sort of thing. I mean, it was just very funny. This coach, like I could sense how angry the coach was. And the funny thing was, like I said to the coach, I mean, I'm not out to like beat anybody up when I do interviews, like these are high school kids, they're coaches. I'm not out to beat anyone up. So the coach tells me this crazy thing about this GA coming up to the school and talking to Jaden Harris and and the whole thing that went down. And I'm like, listen, coach, like, is it okay if he's told to me on the record. So technically I could just written it and not ask, but I'm a nice guy, right, Gary? Sometimes.
Yeah, like 100%.
Like 10% of the time. So I said to the coach, I said, listen, coach, I don't want to get anyone in trouble. I said, do you want to be on the record for that? Or should I say it was a source that told me this? He says, you know what? He says, let's do it with a source or whatever. And then I also called the head coach because the assistant wasn't quite sure if Mario Cristobal had actually visited or any of the coaches had actually visited Jaden in person. He said the head coach would know that. So I called the head coach of the school also. And then obviously I had to use the head coach as a source, even though none of that was off the record, or not off the record, but none of that was like had to be used as a source. But I didn't want to make it sound like, one guy was a source and the head coach said this, and was the source really the head coach? I just didn't want to get into that. Right. And then I published a story, and I guess the assistant coach read it or heard about it. Not 10 minutes later, I'll read you the text he sends me. I mean, it's just so funny. I literally couldn't stop laughing. I have to find it. Here it is. He texts me. This is the assistant coach. He texts me. You can put my name on the source about Florida. Screw it. That's what he texts me. This assistant coach. I responded. I said, you got it, LOL. And I changed the whole story. I put what he said. I put what the head coach said. And I rewrote the story so that it was clear who said what. But I mean, the whole thing was.
Well, we have every reason to be annoyed. Like, why wouldn't you be annoyed? I mean, the kid's been committed for several months.
They're pissed. They're pissed.
And now, like, they're walking in here. They say they want to reevaluate him. Like, this isn't like it's not a chump.
And the assistant coach told me this is not just with Jaden. He says his Florida staff is so screwed up. They're doing it with all their commits.
Yeah.
It makes no. It's the
now.
If you want to lose commits, this is the way to do it. They're following the blueprint for losing commitments. Well, congratulations, Florida Gators.
Yeah, and in fairness, I think you're going to see, for example, Landon Ibieta drop off the Miami class. It's
and it's I was talking.
It happens when you have coaching changes.
I mean, I was talking to Ja'Cory Brown. Ja'Cory does not want that kid to be dropped. Like Ja'Cory loves this kid, so maybe Ja'Cory will get in Mario's ear.
Maybe he'll lobby for him. Maybe he lobbies for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe he'll get in Mario's ear this week. I'm like, listen, this kid's amazing. I played with him on 7-on-7, whatever, and try to get him back in the class because listen, it's either kid's going to wind up at Tulane because he was committed to Miami for so long. It's not right. I would love for Miami to find a spot for him.
Yeah. All right. Also on the website this morning, we got our first conversation with Dan Radakovich yesterday afternoon. And man, talk about impressive. My God, man. This guy that just reeks impressiveness. And I think he's going to do a great job at Miami. So you can check out that story and start to get a feel for your new athletic director, who I think is going to make a big impact. And I know what Matt's getting ready to say.
Damn right. Well, what was the highlight of that interview, Gary?
All the great things he had to say about his plans at Miami.
Wrong. Guess again. The highlight of that interview
the thing.
All right, I want to take a poll. I want to take a poll of all 10 people that watch this, not including you, Mom. I told my mom never post on here again. She was posting like the first 4 or 5 of these we ever did. She's like posting, great job, Matt. I'm like, I had to call. I'm like, stop posting on Good Morning. I said, stop even watching Good Morning CaneSport. Like, what are you doing? Don't you have better things to do with your time? I know you're retired, but like, this is not for you, you know? She literally is reading a book right now.
Thinking
about
that
football.
she should have, now that you've become such a star on YouTube and everything.
Oh, yeah, big star.
She's thinking that that she should have sent you to communication school or something. You know?
Oh, yeah, right. She's literally, she's reading, this is what she's doing. She's reading a book to learn about football and then telling me what she's learning. Hey. I'm like, I don't need to know the basics of football. I'm pretty sure I already have
that time. You've only been doing this for what, 25 years?
Well, yeah, but listen, some fans probably think I don't know anything, so maybe it's helpful that she's reading me these tips. Anyway, so the highlight of the Dan, I can't say his last name, interview, I swear to you. Okay, I'll take a poll of fans right now. How many of you think that Dan, whatever his last name is,
Radakovich,
thank you, said the name Gary Ferman more than Mario Cristobal, or said the name Mario Cristobal more than Gary Ferman during his 30-minute presser? I can't put it here. Hands up for who thinks he said Mario Cristobal's name more than Gary's. Hands up for who thinks that he said Gary's name more than Mario Cristobal. The answer is he said Gary's name about 20 years. Like, he started his press conference. Gary, it's so great to see you. I mean, the Herald's on there, the Athletics on there, all these different national things are on there. He's like, Gary, how are you doing? And then at the end, he's like, Gary, I can't wait to see you in person again. Da da da. He's like, back in the day, it was so great seeing you back then. It was crazy. I was like, it was like
I've known him for 40 years.
Listen, if aliens came down and saw that, they'd think Gary Ferman was the president of the University of Miami because he was gushing about Gary Ferman. Okay,
no, come on, man. You
don't think how many times did he mention him? About 10 times.
He was just saying hello. He was just giving me a shout out. No big deal.
That's not how I remember it.
Anyway, Dan Radakovich is on his way to South Florida.
He said, thank you for saving the Miami Hurricane program. Remember, he began like that. He said, I'd like to thank Gary Ferman for saving the Miami Hurricanes football program. That's how he began the whole thing.
Oh, my God. All right, listen. So you got the Dan Radakovich story on the website this morning. He had a lot of great things to say. Not because I've known him for so long, but I have known him for a long time. This guy's a total stud. He is going to be a great athletic director here. And I think you guys are going to be real happy with what you're hearing come out of his mouth, both in today's story and then in the future. Hopefully one day we'll be able to get him on CaneSport Live or even Good Morning CaneSport or something, and let him talk directly to you guys. So that's going to do it for today. For Matt Shodell, the alligator-less guy that's pretending that he went to the French Open.
Just take me off the screen. I can't take it anymore. Take me off the screen.
No, that was a one-time wonder. If I did it again, it would lose. If I did it again, it would lose.
What are you doing to me? You're blocking me.
I'm Gary Ferman. Thank you so much for joining us again on Good Morning CaneSport. And we'll see you guys, I guess, Monday morning after a big recruiting weekend at the U. Have a great weekend, everybody.